Hi there, it's Ray with Tarot Living. Thanks for joining. So this is another installment of the court card interpretation videos. And so today we're going to do the King of Pentacles. So as you can see, we've got the King of Pentacles on the left-hand side. So this one, there's a few different ways that you can read court cards, as I've said in my other videos. So you can have the court card representing an internal characteristic or traits that the querent or the client needs to embrace or that they're working with at that time. So it's more internally oriented. Or you can have the court card can mean an external person in that querent's life, or it can mean an event. And often we see that a little bit more with the pages and the knights. But it can mean an event or how an event is playing out. So today we're going to actually I'm going to do this as an external person. So I'm going to say that the querent has posed a question with regard to a relationship. So she's told me that she's in a relationship with a male, and she's asking me about some of the characteristics or any information with regard to that relationship. And these are the cards that came up. So the first thing is you can go to my other videos with regard to more details on the astrological attributions of the court cards. But King of Pentacles, just to let you know, relates to Taurus, the sign of Taurus, which is an earth sign. And Taurus tends to be a little bit more stable, practical, dependable. They enjoy security and very much enjoy the material world. So they're very good at manifesting things in the material world. They're also very interested in values and beliefs and having strong values. And the King of Pentacles, some of the characteristics and keywords would be master of the physical plane, experienced, practical, stable, conservative, and a reliable, mature kind of person. So tends to be very disciplined and in control and very good with financial and mathematical capabilities. So you can certainly see the similarity between Taurus and, of course, King of Pentacles. So in terms of time frame, he actually rules, all of the cards rule a primary sign, which of course King of Pentacles' primary sign is Taurus, as I just said. He also rules, though, 10 degrees of the sign before, which is Aries. And the time frame, in case you're wanting to know about time frame for the court cards, so for this one it would be around April 11th to May 10th. So that would be the time frame. So let's move on to interpretation. So let's say, as I said, that this person has asked a question about relationship. We've got the King of Pentacles there. And so we know that the male in this scenario, the person that she is with, is going to come up with the characteristics of King of Pentacles. So I would be describing this person as being, very stable, practical, quite down to earth, very much into the physical plane and material plane. So probably a hard worker, probably someone who's very interested in making money, collecting possessions, very good at maybe finances, investments, that sort of thing. And also can be a little bit more on the conservative side. And also they tend to, this person would probably be kind of put one foot in front of the other and keep trucking along, very determined. So those are some of the characteristics. So that would be, many of the things that this person would likely notice about the individual that she's with. The second card there is the Empress, and the Empress card is a really interesting combination because a couple of reasons. So the Empress card talks about relationships in general, which I'll get into in a minute. But the Empress is very much a feminine card. It's about the female energy in Mother Earth. So I would suggest that would represent her in the relationship. Empress card is also very earthy, and in fact she's ruled by Venus, which rules Taurus. And so these two astrologically have a connection of the Taurian energy. And she tends to be very down to earth, very much enjoying sensual pleasures as well in the physical world. So she really knows how to do that. She tends to be very nurturing as well. And so I would suggest that this person is in a nurturing stance or a nurturing position within the relationship and is probably working on this relationship, putting energy into it, really wanting connection and, any kind of sort of reconciliation, and I don't mean reconciliation like there's an issue necessarily, I just mean that's where she stands. Venus always stands with, we want reconciliation, cooperation, connection. So those are the kind of the energies of Venus. So she's bringing a lot of that energy into the situation. And the Empress card in general really just speaks about relationships. It speaks about the desire for, connection. It speaks about the creative development of a relationship, because she's very much about the earthiness and the creating of something. So we know that something is very much in development with the Empress card coming up, and we definitely know that we have an earth connection here. This would also be a connection financially, I think. There would be a connection of how we want to live our lives. Maybe both of them very much want to make money and have possessions that they feel very good about, that they can really enjoy. And so there might be a real drive toward a connection. So, she may be very drawn to this person who, can bring financial backing and financial stability to the relationship. And as that Empress card, really enjoying the finer things in life, that would be a big connection between the two of them potentially. And then the last card is the Two of Wands. And the Two of Wands, if you think about, it's Mars and Aries. And so there's a lot of drive and vitality, and actually potentially a lot of sexual connection between them, a lot of energy there. But if you think about the wands, any suit really, from ace to 10, you think about the ace being the beginning and the 10, of course, being the end of a cycle. We're at the 2. The 2 is very much in the beginning phase. And so this relationship, what I would read from this is that this relationship is really in a very early phase of development, and that there's a lot more yet to come that could be developed in this relationship. This fellow, he's holding a globe, and so it's all about, what is next? Where do we go from here? Which direction do we take this? So there could be a lot of assessing as to where we want to take this relationship and how we're going to develop it. The other thing is that the twos, I just want to make note, you see how this can look like a doorway? So the Two of Wands can look like a doorway. So who's going to walk through that doorway? Is it going to be both of them? Is one of them considering walking through? Is one of them a little more reluctant? Who knows, right? You'd have to have a discussion with the querent about that. The other thing is that twos can mean choices. So choices and decisions. So it certainly could mean that someone is making a choice right now or thinking about which direction that they want to go. Nonetheless, we have an early phase of development, and also the Empress representing 3, which is kind of the first stage of development. So we have a lot of relationship in development here. We have a lot of earthiness, we have a lot of groundedness, a connection through, finances potentially, a connection also through potentially values, connecting with values that might be a little more on the conservative side. So those are some of the things that jump out at me when these cards come up. So in this case, we've represented the King of Pentacles as someone externally outside of the querent, and we're bringing in those characteristics of who she's in a relationship with at this time. So I hope you found this helpful. Make sure to give me a like, and stay tuned for another video coming up. Thanks so much. Take care.